All right.
Did you have some questions asked me?
I am going to ask you some questions, and we're talking about World War II.
Yes.
That's all right, anywhere. Fine. Thank you, Gene. Appreciate it. Ralph, Andrew,
Lee.
Lee, L-E-E.
Mm-hmm.
When was your date of birth?
And December the 22nd, 1917.
History department.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you. Is that all right?
Sure, John. Anything.
You would be about 81 years old.
81 now. 81 now.
What's your address?
912 29th Street on the side of the trail.
Portsmouth, Ohio. Were you born in Portsmouth?
No, sir. I was born in Olive Hill, Kentucky.
Oh, I see. Olive Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Since the people that might be watching this, you never know, might be your great-grandchildren and on for a couple hundred years from now. What was your mother's name?
Anna, A-N-N-A.
And your father's name?
Carl, K-A-R-L.
I'm sure they'd be interested in your mother's maiden name, too.
As James.
James.
Mm-hmm.
How many children did you have?
There was 10 in our family, children.
10 children.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know their names offhand? I mean, I'm sure you know their names.
Yeah, I do have it all, yes.
Okay. What is it?
Just a minute. Because I forget some of them, you know. There's about 3 or 4 were deceased.
I see. While you're looking for that, you're married, aren't you?
Yes, sir, to Juanita Harley.
Okay.
She's
What was her maiden name?
Hamilton.
What was your occupation?
When I was born, was during the Depression, just about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we had, I think everyone in those days had a pretty rough time. And you couldn't hardly buy a job or get a job anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was going, there's names. You want me to read them off?
I'll read them off. Go ahead and tell your story about your occupation.
Yeah, we couldn't get a job. The boys, you know, young men couldn't. And I rode a freight train into Indiana from Olive Hill. And me and another fella.
You hopped the train, in other words.
Yeah. And going up to Indiana to pick tomatoes during the season. So we didn't get very much out of that thing, you know.
Didn't get all the tomatoes you wanted?
No. And we got fed what people would give you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went to Olive Hill High School, played football and basketball, and in high school. And then in 1938, I joined the Navy.
You were 21 or 20?
20.
Mm-hmm.
Joined the Navy, and I got as apprentice seaman, and that was on July the 12th, 1938. And in 1939, after I got out of boot camp and everything, we went to Cuba, around there.
Guantanamo or just everywhere?
About everywhere. And then we was in the Mediterranean for cruise too.
Mm-hmm.
And from 1939, I forget the exact date, but I was assigned to Pearl Harbor
Mm-hmm.
as a home base.
Mm-hmm.
There was 9 destroyers that supposed to watch over the aircraft carriers and whatever they were with around. And we got. I had to name all these ships too somewhere.
Let me see if I have the names of your children down here. Let's see. Where would these be here? Like Carl G?
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
Carl Gordon was my dad's name. David Fletcher Lee was his name.
Oh, who's David Fletcher Lee?
His father.
His father. That goes back to 1842, my goodness.
Yeah, and Mary E. Lee was April 1860.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now
she was Wilburn, and my dad's brothers was Dudley, Joseph Willie Lee, and a lady named Chloe Lee, and David Fletcher Lee, and Harry Lee, and my dad, Carl Gordon Lee, June 1989.
is that his birthday?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason Lee was March 1892.
You've got a Robert E. Lee there, too.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Now, was that his brother, Carl Lee's brother?
Carl Lee's brother. These are all brothers and sisters.
Sister Edith Lee.
Edith Lee was a sister.
Mm-hmm. So you had, I bet his dad was in the war, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Was he for the Confederacy or the Union?
He was for the Confederacy.
Mm-hmm. Being from Kentucky, I guess they had a southern flavor there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he and his wife, he and your mother had children. Is that who these are? Carl and Anna Lee is your mother.
Right.
Okay. And I'll just go ahead and read it here if you don't mind.
Sure.
Carl Lee, your father. Anna James Lee, your mother. And then they had children. And their children's names are Doris Alberta Lee.
Uh-huh.
These would be your sisters and brothers.
Yes.
And Floris Marie Lee.
Uh-huh.
Then you, Ralph, you are the oldest boy?
Oldest boy.
Okay.
Ralph Andrew.
All right. Emily Iris Lee. Verlin Wiley Lee. James Frederick Lee. Lois Lee. And she was stillborn at birth, it seems like.
Uh-huh.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
Robert Jean Lee. Gary Richard Lee. Max Elaine Lee. And let's see, who's this? Doris Alberta Lee. Who would that be? The sister that died young?
Yeah.
Okay, and Emily Iris Lee died young in 1922. She was 2 years old. And, of course, Lois Lee was stillborn.
Uh-huh.
And then you got married, didn't you?
Yes.
And how many children did you have?
Not any.
You didn't have children?
Didn't have any children, no.
Okay. Do you have nephews? I bet you have a lot of nephews and
Oh, yes,
nieces.
I have nephews and nieces everywhere.
Okay. I bet your great nephews and nieces are going to be watching this in the year 2100.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, now after basically you went in the Navy in 1938,
Uh-huh.
and did you make the Navy a career all through the war?
No, sir. When my enlistment was up, it was in July 1942.
1942. Did you get out of the Navy then, or did
No,
you?
I was held over
Because
during
of
the
the
duration.
war.
Yeah.
Okay. When were you discharged from the Navy?
In September 9th, 1945.
Okay. And how much education do you have?
I have some college
All right. Where did you attend college?
in Kansas City.
Kansas City. What was the name of the school there?
It was the Kansas City University.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you were in the Navy. Did you like the Navy? Did you like being in the service?
Yes, I did. I enjoyed it very much.
What was your, what we call MOS, military occupational specialty? What did you do?
I was a yeoman.
Yeoman.
I was in it as a apprentice seaman and came out as a chief yeoman.
I see. And so when you were discharged from the Navy, you were chief yeoman? Was that your rank? I see. You told me a few moments ago that you were overseas. You were in Cuba and had a tour in the Mediterranean. Would that be Italy and Spain?
No. Well, we went in some of those ports, but I don't remember too much about those.
Okay. I want to ask you why. How about you went to Pearl Harbor then? You were
in 1939. We were assigned to escort the, take care of the USS Lexington and the USS Enterprise.
I see. Those were aircraft carriers.
Yes, sir. Okay. And we was around those carriers all the time. Now, there's one thing that kind of still bothers me today, and that's when Jack bombed Pearl Harbor, both of those carriers were out.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't know where they were or why they were out at that time because we weren't with them.
Mm-hmm.
And but they didn't get hit like the rest of the ships and things did. But the USS Enterprise was berthed right at Fort Island, and the old battleship Utah was there, and he got sunk about the first crack out of the box. Yeah,
got hit. Yes.
Yeah, and so I knew there was something. Somebody knew something, and we don't know exactly what it was. You know.
What did a yeoman do? What was your?
Oh, I was the commanders, the division commanders. There's 2 divisions in a squadron of destroyers. One's a flagship. The USS Phelps was a flagship, number 360. And the others, I have a list of those, I think.
Okay.
If you want me to get to you, I think I
sure,
should.
why not? Yeah. Okay, and what was the name of your ship?
My ship was USS Elwyn, number 3, DD-355.
DD-355. Elwyn?
Elwyn, A-Y-L-W-I-N.
And so you were you at Pearl Harbor then when it was attacked?
Yes, I was.
December the 7th of 41.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then did you serve all through the Pacific then while
the war? I got transferred in 19 from the destroyers division. Got transferred to the VS-57 Scouting Squadron. That was in Espiritu Santos, New Caledonia.
Oh yes,
and all those islands in there.
The South Pacific area.
Yes, and then we were. I'd say we were in that area for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, when I forget the exact name of that island that we were on, but it was a rough one.
As far as the war, as far as the fighting was concerned?
Yeah, we had a bombing raid every evening with what we called Washing Machine Charlie. He'd come over and
Washing Machine Charlie came over and bombed you.
Yeah, we call that. Oh gosh, I forget now. But we get a bomb every night, and all through the area there was 100 gallons of 110 octane gasoline for the planes and so on.
I see. Were they ever hit?
Never hit a one.
Wasn't very good, was it?
They were too high. Well, they were scattered so far apart.
I see. Now, what was the name of your ship then?
That wasn't a ship. I just lived like a dog face,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Marine or something, whatever you call it.
All right. All right. Now you were looking for a list there. What's your list?
Yeah, now, some of the guys that were in Pearl Harbor was Carl Scherer, Scherer. Scherer.
Where was he from?
He's from Portland here.
Are all these Portsmouth people?
Yes, sir.
I see. Carl Scherer. Is he deceased now?
No, he lives in Florida, I think.
I see.
And then Charles Knopf, K-N-A-U-F-F. And
is he deceased or does he?
no, he's still living.
Okay, where does he live?
Here in
Charles Knopf.
And Lawrence Malone.
Okay.
And
where does he live?
he lives here in Portsmouth.
Okay.
And there was a Kenneth Rucker that was in Wake Island when
I see. Right.
there.
Right.
And they captured him, and he was a prisoner of war.
For all the war duration?
Duration, I think.
I see.
Well, till they got the weight back.
What is his name?
His name was Kenneth Rucker, R-U-C-K-E-R.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he was here with the group of survivors.
I see. Was he a Marine?
No, he was Army.
He was Army.
As I understand it, yes.
I see. Okay. Now, you were at Pearl Harbor that day.
Yes, sir.
And tell me about that. That was early Sunday morning, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. It was about close to 8 o'clock.
Now,
7 something.
What had you been doing the night before?
Well, I went on the beach and was kind of catting around.
I see.
Like those kids do, you know.
Catting around like the kids.
Yeah.
And a lot of sailors, of course, were on leave that evening, weren't they?
Well, not on leave. They were on liberty.
On liberty, I should say.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody that came back aboard ship that evening, I think they got a little inebriated, you know.
Well, what were names? Some of the names of the popular places that some of the sailors went.
Well, I was kind of lucky. I had a madam that was named Moldenhauer. She was a madam at one of the cat houses.
Oh, yeah.
And I was interested in that.
I see. What's the name of it?
I don't remember the name.
Oh, the port part.
Yeah.
And some of the bars that other sailors would go to on Liberty. Let me ask you this: how long had you been at Pearl Harbor before it was attacked?
From 1939, that was stationed there.
I see.
From 1939 when I got there until I got discharged. Not discharged. I mean, I got points and everything that I got to come back to the USA in, let's see, it was 1993.
43?
43, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, 43. Thanks for correcting.
That's all right.
And
so you were there since 39. So give me the date again. When you got to Pearl Harbor?
It was I'm pretty sure it was in June, I believe.
1939. So you got to know the area pretty well?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Like Wheeler Airfield or Hickam and so on and so forth like that, all those areas.
Yes.
And I was asking you, I read a Time magazine article about Pearl Harbor, and it named some of the bars and places that sailors like to go to, and I was trying to think of them, and I thought maybe you could help me. But when you just wanted to go out to a bar or something, where did you go? Did you have a favorite?
No, not really, because you go down the street and there's bars everywhere.
So there's no need to have a favorite.
No, you didn't have a favorite, and didn't care what the name was or anything.
The name's not important.
Yeah. We were mostly looking for women. And,
right.
And wow.
Cat around, in other words.
Yeah.
And, okay, that evening then, what time did you get back to the ship?
That evening, I got back in time to what we call the fart sack, that's when you go to bed. Yeah.
Now, why would you call it the fart sack?
Well, because every time you turn around, somebody was letting one go.
So you must have been pretty close there.
Oh yeah, you're right together.
Okay. And so the time of the evening that you got back to ship would be in the early morning?
I would say in the mornings, yes.
Okay.
Early morning.
Had you been able to get any sleep?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how did you know you were being attacked?
The guy that was on watch that morning, he was up top side, and we were, I heard him hit the ladder and made such a noise that he said that there was a bomb or something went off in Fort Island. We were right across from them.
What was his exact words? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so. He said, we've got a bad bomb scare, or had a bad bomb go off, and because it was started smoking and everything.
Mm-hmm. How close were you to that?
Pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And we had, matter of fact, when the USS Monaghan was at one of our ships there, and it was, I believe, 354, DD 354, and it had the ready duty. It was the only one that had power, to get out right then, and we had to build up ours. Mm-hmm. And we started the engine and everything. We all managed our stations, battle stations.
Mm-hmm.
And tried to knock those planes out, but all the shells were set, preset, and they were going completely past them before they'd explode.
You mean your shells?
Our shells.
Our shells
USS.
were preset to explode at a certain altitude,
yeah.
and the shells would go past the planes and then explode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we didn't get to knock down many of them.
Now, you say you had to build up power. You had to build up power with coal, didn't you?
No,
What
it
did
was oil.
You did use oil.
Oh, yes.
How long would it take you to build up power and then move out?
I tell you, I don't remember. I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like when this guy hit the ladder, do you remember his name?
No, I don't.
When he hit the ladder, it sounds like he thought it was just an explosion and not being attacked.
But he hadn't more got to the top of the ladder, and he says, we're being bombed by the Japs. They saw the star, the red
ball,
red
sun.
And he said that we're being bombed by the Japs.
Okay.
And
was that the first that you knew that you learned something
Yeah.
like that was going on?
Right.
What did you do then?
Well, we all went to our battle stations.
Where was your battle station?
On the corner and trainer station, on a destroyer. You have a corner and trainer. And so you have to be there to guide the direction of the firing.
Did you have a gun, in other words, that you went to?
No. This was a what they call a control tower of all the guns on the ship.
I see.
Of the 5-inch guns.
I see.
Now they had some 50 calibers in the middle of the ship that they tried to get some. I'm sure they did get some of the planes down.
Mm-hmm.
But not many of them.
Okay. When you were at the Pointer and Finder station.
Pointer and trainer. Yeah.
Pointer and trainer station. Now would that be up near the captain's
no,
bridge?
It's above the bridge, or just below the bridge.
Just below it, in other words. Okay. What would be the purpose of that then? To direct fire?
Direct fire into the planes that were coming in, or try to get them anyway.
Okay. Now this was your destroyer named the Alwyn. AYLWIN. DD 355.
Okay.
And did you ever work up steam? Did you ever?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We
Did you start moving out?
Yeah, all of us did. All the destroyers did. And the Monaghan was the one that was on ready duty, I was telling you. And You had 90-day wonders in that went in through.
90-day wonders.
Yeah, they were lieutenants or.
These were officers.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And the guy that was on duty that night was a 90-day wonder, and he happened to back the ship, the Monahan, and it ran into a buoy. and it made, built the propeller, and it didn't go too well.
All right.
So we all got, the rest of us got out. But in going out of the harbor, the battleships were devastated, and they were proud of our fleet. And we all felt very bad about that,
So you had to go past them
Oh,
on
yes.
your way out.
Yes, we did.
What was the name of the bay or the... where were you moored? Do you remember the name of the bay or the...
Yeah, it's right in Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. Okay, so then you start out. When you say go out, are you going out to open sea? Was that the idea to try to get away from the battle?
Yeah. Well, we were trying to find the fleet, the third fleet, and thank God we didn't. And if they had known and had refueled and come back, they could have sunk every ship in that was going. That was able to go.
They didn't come back, did they?
No, well, they did a couple of times, see, but they didn't. The last time we thought they'd be back, but they didn't come back.
Now, on your way out, you see all this destruction?
Oh, my, yeah.
What was that like?
It was such a devastating thing that it's hard to really convey to a person, And, of course, we thought we were the top notches of the whole world, And we were, in fact, were.
Did you see the Oklahoma?
Yes, sir. The Oklahoma, the Arizona, when it got blew up, and the Shaw. There was a destroyer. It was in dry dock, and it was blown up. And Cason, CASSI, and that's a destroyer. That was I think, was blown up too.
Was your ship ever hit?
No, sir. My ship was never hit, and we were very fortunate. I mean, the whole division of our division was awfully fortunate. Just lucky. The good Lord was with us, I guess.
Did you ever see or meet or speak with the Admiral there, Admiral Kimmel?
No, sir. I saw in a paper, in the magazine I got the other day, that Kimmel and Short both got exonerated from what they had. And I thought that was great. They should have done it in the first place. I mean, they shouldn't have charged them, because there's no way they could have known. Not those two people.
Well, after you're trying to head out to sea to find the Jap fleet, how far did you go? Did you make it out to sea?
Oh, yes, we did.
What did you do then?
The whole squadron did. And some of the USS, there was also like the USS Detroit, which is Detroit. There was so many ships in there, I can't remember them all. But they were heavier than the destroyers were, and we tried to help them too.
So after the 7th, after the bombing, I assume you went back to Pearl Harbor at a later date or sometime.
Yeah, that same day.
That same day. What did you do then?
Well, not the same day. It was the next day.
Okay.
We went out to sea and tried to hunt down the Jap people that had the carriers and sent the planes in, but we couldn't find them. And a good thing we didn't, because they could have.
You'd have been clobbered.
Sure would have, yeah.
Did you go back then to Pearl Harbor and start cleaning up, helping with the salvage?
Yes, sir. We went back into Pearl Harbor, and then we got the carriers Lexington and the Enterprise back.
They came pretty soon, didn't they? Did they come the next day?
And It was, I'm not sure it was the next day, but they were there pretty fast. And I don't know, it was, the place was just laying waste.
How did this affect the sailors on your ship?
Well, I think all of us were affected very bad. I mean, we felt so bad about the devastation that was put on, that happened to us. And I don't know. I can't remember a lot of things that did take place and during that time.
Did you help with the recovery of the dead or the bodies or anything?
Not our ship, no our ships. And, they had enough people ashore there that did that from all the bases there. And we didn't get involved with that. But, and I'm glad we didn't, because I'm a little squeamish about some of that anyway.
Well, after Pearl Harbor, then, what did you do? You ended up going to New Caledonia, you said?
Yeah. Espiritu Santos, New Caledonia, and New Guinea. A lot of those islands in there. And the VS Scouting Squadron that I was assigned to.
VS Scouting Squadron?
VS 57.
What does that do? What do they do?
They just scout for submarines or anything that, when we fly, we got fly page, we went with them or anything.
I see. Okay. And did you support any of the infantry or anything like that?
No, we didn't.
I know down in that area there was some infantry.
Oh, yes.
Infantry. And all that.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
There was, we lived like the guys in the Marines and the Army, in barracks and tents, you know.
So your job then would be to support the planes that were out scouting, what they call as PBYs, or?
No, these were normally two-seaters, you know.
I see.
And they carried bombs that would drop, for a depth charge. And this type of thing.
They would look for submarines?
Yeah, submarines or anything that might be coming our way, or put more in harm's way somewhere.
Were you involved in any other action?
Yes, in Bougainville, we had Bougainville is a small island. This is before I went to the VS Squadron. Bougainville was, and then the Coral Sea was right after that too, and which the U.S. selection was sunk. And then Yorktown was sunk in Midway. And during all that time, they were, we were getting hit pretty hard too, Mm-hmm. But Midway, I think, was a turning point.
Were you in Midway?
No, I wasn't.
By that time, you'd have been assigned to the other unit.
Yes.
Now, after you were assigned to that unit, did you see any more action?
Not other than the. See, I didn't go to the Solomons when they had that. I didn't go to Midway. I didn't have to, and otherwise I'd have been there.
Okay. Let me see. You have any decorations?
I only got a commendation from Forrestal. What's his name? He was the Navy. Got a letter from him.
Did you have any ribbons?
We had the regular ribbons for wherever you were. Yeah.
Okay. Did you bring back any souvenirs from that area?
No, but I've kicked myself several times.
It's too late now. You know that?
It's too late. Sure. It sure is. Yeah, I enjoyed the times I was there, but I tell you, I wouldn't make it go back.
Okay. Were you ever wounded?
No, sir. No, never got a scratch. And I think that's very fortunate. I think the good Lord had His arms around us. My parents were very religious, and they did a lot of praying.
Do you remember the names of your closest friends?
Some I do, but we lost track of each other pretty quick.
Were any of them killed in the war?
As far as I know, there wasn't.
I guess, well, what's the scariest thing that ever happened to you over there? Pearl Harbor?
When the Japs bombed, that was the scariest I've ever
Pretty
had.
scary to me.
Yeah, that was just frightening to everyone.
What's the funniest thing?
Fool around with it.
All right.
Maybe I shouldn't have brought my wife in.
You want to go into detail about that?
No.
Okay. Did the service route change you in any way?
Well, I think it did. I kicked myself several times for not staying in because having a chief's rating and staying in for 20 years would have been a pretty nice thing to have. And been young enough to get anything I wanted to do. I just retired last year in the 5th in 98 from Riverview Retirement Center.
Is that right? What did you do there?
Maintenance.
I see. Well, after you got out of the Navy, what did you do?
I went to, I worked for a trucking company as a rate clerk and OSD clerk.
I see. What trucking company was it?
The USS Boss, or the Boss Freight Lines and Southwest Freight Lines.
Where were they? Where did you live?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. How long have you been back in Portsmouth?
Since 58.
I see.
68, I'm sorry.
Since 68. Is there anything you'd like to add or say to your descendants? You might think of something after the camera goes off here, but is there anything you'd like to say finally?
No, not other than I just hope that no one has to go through this like we had. And I do believe that the generation to our given has been an asset to the whole country. I mean, I don't mean just myself. I don't mean myself at all. But I mean the entire people.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, we'll turn it.